I'm Liv, your emotionally exhausted, chronically online host. And every week we talk about life, relationships, internet chaos, bad decisions, awkward moments, and all the things that spiral way faster than they should. This week, I declared war on small talk and promised myself one brutal rule for 7 first dates. No white lies, no cushion phrases, full honesty. What could possibly go wrong? This escalated quickly. Okay, hook time. I announced to a room of very sober friends that I would be radically, mercilessly honest on 7 first dates and post the receipts. It was equal parts social experiment and a midlife crisis that started at age 32. I imagined answers that would free me, like honesty yoga. Instead, I mostly invented new levels of awkward, but also chaos is content. So here we are. Promise and rules. I gave myself a very small rule book because apparently I like structure in my self-sabotage. Rule 1, no white lies. If he asks if I like his playlist, I answer honestly. Rule 2, no softening phrases. Ditch the "that's great" when it absolutely is not. Rule 3, consent is still consent. Being honest does not mean being mean. Stakes, if I flubbed, I'd owe my friend's brunch and a therapy-level apology. I signed off on this like a real idiot with a coffee stain on my manifesto. Date 1, he ordered 3 appetizers like we were buying a vineyard. I told him, you ordering the whole tapas menu on date 1 is bold and also a red flag that you may be auditioning for a role in my future financial regret. He laughed. I laughed. Then neither of us stopped talking about portion sizes for the rest of the night. I later texted him a photo of my bank account balance and he unmatched me like it was an MMA weigh-in. Lesson: honesty can be efficient, but also deeply unromantic. Date 2 was a masterpiece of accidental insult. He had a haircut that looked like it lost a fight with a hedge trimmer. When he asked, "Do you like it?" I said, very honestly, "It's adventurous in a way that makes me want to ask if you can hear different birds now." He stared like I'd described his aura and then asked if I could recommend a barber. We exchanged 5 texts later that said nothing of emotional content and everything about barbershop availability. That night I learned honesty without tact can get you into a decidedly platonic territory called barber arranger. Now, things escalated with dates 3 and 4. Date 3, he launched into a 10-minute passionate speech about his startup that pivoted more times than a confused GPS. At minute 3, I asked, "Is this the elevator pitch or the entire building?" He laughed like I'd given him a badge of honor. Then he confessed that the startup was actually a blog with 3 posts. I said, "So you're incubating a brand." He cried a little into his kale salad. I didn't mean to be cruel. I was trying to be concise. But wow, I became both truth teller and accidental therapist. Date 4 almost ended in ghosting, but in a way that was melodramatic and deserved. He confessed he still had a job with sort of flexible hours, and then asked me if I thought cats should have middle names. I said, sincerely, only if they plan to run for office. He went silent. Then he texted the next day. That comment made me rethink everything. I responded, "Good. I'm demanding existential crises now." Surprisingly, he came back for a second date. Sometimes the chaos loops into curiosity. Dates 5 and 6 were the emotional roller coaster portion of the experiment. Date 5. The plan backfired spectacularly. I told him I don't like gym selfies and that I find them performative. He took it as a personal threat to his cardio identity and swiped left mid-espresso. Brutal, but honest. Then, date 6 surprised me. I admitted I had 0 idea how to pronounce a musician he loved. Honestly confessed I'd pretended to for months. And instead of abhorrence, he lit up, grateful someone admitted a tiny lie. We bonded over pronunciation fails and ate dessert we absolutely did not need. That one landed because vulnerability is a rare currency. Date 7 was my mic drop. I kept the rule, but softened the delivery. Instead of theatrical bluntness, I used curiosity, and real curiosity, honestly. He asked, "What's your deal with honesty?" I said, I feel like we all bring RSVP versions of ourselves to dates. Trimmed, filtered, and on the plus side, maybe we're auditioning. I wanted to see what happens if I show up with the director's cut. He admitted he was tired of small talk too, and told me his honest fear, that he'd accidentally mirror someone until he forgot who he was. We both laughed at how dramatic our anxiety sounded in daylight, and we walked out feeling oddly human and normal. That, not the insults or the roast comments, got the real connection.
Hot take time. Radical honesty isn't a license to be a jerk. And it's not a dating hack either. It's a mirror. We pretend to be cooler than we are because the social algorithm rewards polish and curated narratives. But people actually crave small vulnerabilities. They don't always want brutal truth bombs. They want to know the real story behind your forced smile. So my hot take is, honesty lands best when it's gentle, curious, and shared, not thrown like a pie into someone's face. Also, hot takes love drama, so there's that. Quick recap. Date 1 taught me honesty can cause economic separation. Dates 2 through 4 were a mixtape of insults, tears, and barber appointments. Date 5 ghosted me into a healthier bank account. Date 6 gave me a sweet, awkward dessert. And date 7 gave me human-level intimacy with none of the bubbly grandeur. The real win? I stopped pretending I liked things I didn't. And, more importantly, I started asking curious follow-up questions instead of polishing my canned answers. If you loved watching me commit social felonies for content, hit subscribe and leave a review. Tell me your worst first date moment, or a time you told the truth and regretted, or didn't. I read them aloud next week. And yes, juicy stories get dramatic reads. Also, if you want me to test another chaotic life experiment, say extreme ghosting with receipts, write it in a review and convince me to be an idiot again. Please and thank you. If today's episode made you laugh, question humanity, or feel slightly better about your own life choices, then my job here is officially done. Stay chaotic.